Welcome my friends to the Conscious Strength YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be discussing the best foods for men, best foods for dudes. Foods that will support muscle growth, muscle development, also support hormonal health, testosterone support, testosterone increase, estrogen reduction, and then also talk about great foods to eat to support the blood. Help with blood pressure, blood flow, great for workouts, great for helping sexual activities, whatever the case. So we've got a top 5 list here. Let's get into it. The first on the list, the first category is your meat. Ground beef, eggs. Pretty simple. Not much to explain here, but the vitamin B, the iron, with those eggs as well. Eat the yolks. You have choline in those yolks that will help with your brain as well. Choline is necessary for the creation of acetylcholine, which will help with focus and concentration, help your nervous system, and obviously grass-fed, free-range, organic, non-GMO, whatever you want to call it. If the animals eat shit, you are not going to get as much nutrition from their meat, and some of the toxins, any chemicals that those animals will eat, will end up getting stored in their fat, and then you eat that stuff. So you want your animals as healthy and happy as possible, so you get more nutrition and less toxicity from their food. Now, I like duck eggs. I'm a big fan of duck eggs. Huge yolks in those duck eggs, but sometimes I go with chicken eggs. Eat all the yolk. I don't believe the cholesterol lie given to us by the medical establishment over the decades. But granted, you don't want like ungodly amounts of cholesterol in your diet, but you need cholesterol for hormonal creation. Cholesterol is a good thing. The issue is inflammation. You can have all kinds of cholesterol flowing around your bloodstream. It's inflammation that's the problem that traps in your blood vessels. So inflammation more important to handle than cholesterol. You don't want super high amounts of cholesterol, but you don't want to completely eliminate it from your diet. So eat those yolks. Cholesterol is good for you. Choline's good for you. And with beef, you know, I know that organ beef is getting big and popular, especially in those carnivore circles. And for good reason, there's huge amounts of nutrition in liver and all that. But if you eat too much liver, that's a lot of vitamin A. Vitamin A is fat soluble. It will store in your body. I wonder about some of these carnivores that eat just huge amounts of vitamin A, and then their skin starts turning yellow and they kind of look like Homer Simpson. So I'm not like eat liver everyday kind of person, but every once in a while I'll get the organic beef and organ blend. So this is a mix of ground beef with some organs in there, but not every day or all the time do I do the organs. But first, beef and eggs, pretty obvious. Second, we're going to get into the fish, and I am a big fan of sardines and oysters. Right from the can, baby. Sardines and oysters. Reason being is because they both have a lot of good fat, good omega-3 fatty acids that your body needs for a million different things. Your brain, your eyes, your joints, your blood, etc. So you need those good omega-3 fatty acids. Sardines and oysters both have a bunch. Sardines in particular also have high amounts of CoQ10, coenzyme Q10, which our cells need to create ATP. So CoQ10 is great for the heart, great for the brain, great for the nervous system. Sardines high in CoQ10. Also, if you are planning on getting any kind of sardines, look for the ones in olive oil. Cheap sardines out there, cheap sardine brands will put their sardines in soy oil or cottonseed oil, like the bad kinds of seed oils. Look for the sardines in olive oil. I'm a big fan of the Wild Planet brand. When I want to be a little posh, I guess, I'll go for the sardines in chili and lime and tomato sauce, but these are about $1 extra. You can find these, the Wild Planet sardines, for about $3 a can if they're on sale or if you look online. And in terms of oysters, same thing. Don't find the oysters that are in the seed oil. I have this one here in olive oil, smoked. Highly recommend the smoked oysters because they're palatable. Raw oysters are disgusting. So smoked oysters, pretty good. Also high in the omega-3 fatty acids, but particularly with the oysters, high in zinc. So zinc is one of those minerals that a lot of people are deficient in. We need zinc for proper immune system function, but also testosterone, regulation, testosterone creation. So a lot of dudes are deficient in zinc and their testosterone is suffering because of it. Oysters are incredibly high in zinc. So what I will do is switch every other day. One day I'll eat a can of sardines, next day I'll eat a can of oysters, and I go back and forth day on, day off between them. So sardines and oysters for the fish, great for dudes. 3, let's do seeds. We've got pumpkin and Brazil nuts. So not all seed oils are bad, okay? The bad kinds of seed oils are the ones that are really high in omega-6 fatty acids and the ones that are also genetically engineered. So the seed oils to avoid are your canola oil, soy oil, cottonseed oil. Canola and soy, very genetically engineered. Most crops grown of canola and soy are GMO, and they're all real high in omega-6 fatty acids, throwing off the ratio, throwing off the balance of omega-3 to omega-6 in the body. Too much omega-6 means a lot of inflammation, basically. So some seed oils are good, though. Some seed oils, like hemp seed oil, very high in omega-3, high in a lot of minerals. Also, a good seed oil is pumpkin seed oil. Pumpkin is very high in certain phytosterols that help support the prostate, actually. A lot of people will buy pumpkin seed oil capsules. Dudes will, older men, to support their prostate. You'll find some supplements on the market, herbal supplements with pumpkin seed oil to support the prostate. So pumpkin seed, good for the prostate, but also back to that zinc. Pumpkin seeds are really high in zinc. I like this one. I just eat them out of the bag, do a couple handfuls a day. Super high in zinc, also super high in magnesium, another mineral that a lot of people are deficient in as well. But a lot of zinc in the pumpkin seeds for that testosterone support. And in terms of Brazil nuts, these have another mineral a lot of people are deficient in. Most people are deficient in most things. Brazil nuts are high in selenium. And again, you need selenium for proper testosterone function. Now, with the Brazil nuts, you can get too much selenium and get selenium toxicity. So it is suggested often that you don't want to eat more than like 4 or 5 Brazil nuts at a time. Serving size on here says 1/4 cup. Then it says 1,000% recommended daily allowance of selenium in this. So I'm not going by the serving size on here. I just eat 4 of these a day. And I usually do it in the same sitting. So I'll do a couple handfuls of the pumpkin seeds, eat 4 Brazil nuts, and then eat my can of sardines or oysters, whichever one on that day. And that's my like testosterone snack, my testosterone meal I do midday. So pumpkin seeds and Brazil nuts, great for your testosterone. Number 4, let's do raisins. Yup, raisins. Reason being is because they're high in a mineral called boron. Boron is not much talked about. There's no specific recommended daily allowance of boron. I don't think our health agencies classify it as an essential nutrient, but it really should be. Boron helps with enzymatic production in the body, helps with a lot of different things, but particularly boron for dudes helps with eliminating estrogen, the bad estrogens out of the body, and supports that testosterone production. So raisins are super high in boron. Also dates are high in boron. Dried grapes being raisins and the dates, and also avocados are very high in boron as well. Mostly seeds and fruits that grow in drier environments because rain will wash boron out of the soils. So stuff that grows in drier environments, your avocados, your raisins, your dried fruits. So raisins for boron, also dates and avocados, but raisins as well. So there's that for the boron. And then the 5th one, we're going beets and watermelon. And the reason being, what these 2 fruits and veg particularly help with is blood flow. So beets are very high in nitrates. They're also super high in potassium. Beet juice. I love drinking a little can of beet juice before workouts. Better, in my opinion, than coconut water. So beets, real high in potassium, real high in electrolytes, but also the nitrates. So nitrates your body will use those nitrates to produce nitric acid that helps with oxygenation and supports that blood flow. A lot of people who go into the gym will buy pre-workouts that have amino acids and things that support nitric oxide production to support that blood flow during their workouts. Or you can eat beets or drink beet juice and it will do similar things. And then you also get a bunch of potassium. So beets or beet juice, great before workouts, great just in general for nitric oxide and blood flow. And then watermelons help similarly with that blood flow, but they do it with a different nutrient. So watermelon is high in an amino acid called L-citrulline. Now, L-citrulline is one of those amino acids that are in a lot of those pre-workouts. The dudes are buying and taking before their workouts, and they work, and they're great, and they have a bunch of different ingredients, but typically those pre-workouts will have just shit artificial sweeteners and food colorings and trash to go along with the good nutrients in there. If you want to do things naturally, I'm not anti-pre-workout, but they have their time and place, although I think nutrients are best to get from foods. Watermelon, very high in L-citrulline, and L-citrulline helps with nitric oxide production, helps support that blood flow, and also some good electrolytes and a lot of water in the watermelon as well for the hydration. So great stack to do pre-workout, pre-sex, pre-whatever, where you need the blood flow, or just to get in your diet to support that blood flow, beets and watermelon. So there you go. Top foods for dudes to help with mainly testosterone production, testosterone regulation of the body. Also some things here to help with removing estrogens, diminishing estrogenic activity in the body. Some things here to help with blood flow, and then foods that are great for muscle building and great for the brain as well with those good fats. So there's your list, guys.